back. So Fraser Island didn't pan out. As most people know, the island's on, well, half the island's on fire, and the rangers cancelled all bookings and campsites. So
we've got to go to Stradbroke.
yeah, we've gone to Stradbroke. The people we were organising to catch up with on Fraser decided to head across here, and we thought we'd do the same thing as well. So yep, they're going to be here for 4 days, something like that. I think we're going to be here for 2 weeks, but should be good to see them while we're over here.
So we'll do an episode fully on, well, this episode I should say, we'll be fully on Stradbroke Island.
Yeah. So we've just pulled onto the ferry now. We've got the 1:30 ferry. I think for the car and camper it cost us $310 return. We pre-booked our camping and vehicle passes, and obviously the Sea-Link ferry passes all online, which was nice and easy. We're camping on Main Beach for the majority of it, but we'll try and explore most of the island while we're there as well. So we'll see how we go. We got chug off a little bit of fresh air, but we were told that supposedly now dogs need to have muzzles if they want to be let out of the car on the bottom floor. So we don't have a muzzle. We haven't been able to find one which fits Doug's head, so it's not really an option for us. But also, if you like Sinead and get seasick at the slightest, she's cranky. She can't talk because she reckons she's seasick, even though we're not really moving. Just that slight rock's enough to get her going. So let's see. I think we got like another 30 or 40 minutes. So we'll see whether Sinead makes it the whole way without having a vomit. See how we go.
There you go.
Beach entry. So we're just we're currently here. We'd already gone and got our permits just up here, and now we've got to head all the way down the beach to around, I think it's around, or Main Beach camping area, around there somewhere. So well, entry and exit's really soft. We saw a couple of people stuck on the way in. Yeah, so we're just lowering all the tyre pressures. Tyre deflators don't work on our car because of the bead locks.
What are you going to?
We'll run 12.5 on the front, 15 on the rear. Hopefully that's enough. See how we go. We could probably lower it a little bit more if we need to, but getting down there I don't think will be the issue. Getting back up would probably be where we get caught out. So I'm not sure what the exit is on the way into the camps or not, but we'll figure out once we get down there, I suppose.
How was that, Jackie? How was that?
Easy.
Nervous?
Getting in was always the easy part. Getting out's the only part I worry about, or getting into the campsite. So yeah, the move along actually. It's 4 o'clock. Okay, so we're at Stradbroke. We got here, we set up camp at around 5 PM yesterday. We got the 1:30 barge. By the time we got over, it was 2:30, and by the time we went and got all our permits and that, and drove up the beach, we got here on low tide, which actually worked out really well. So the drive wasn't too bad. Entering the beach, it was pretty soft, but once you got below the high tide mark on the hard sand, it was really easy going. So there's a bunch of different exits up onto the beach. We're camping on Main Beach. We booked zone 9. I think they're pretty lenient with where you go. I think it's sort of a first in best dress scenario, but we've sort of tried to stick to where we are. But yeah, this is our sort of area where we are. People saying you got it. But yeah, it's actually really good. There's not too many people here. It's fairly quiet. I'm not sure what it's Friday today, so I'm not sure if we're gonna get the Friday afternoon rush. And then we're staying through to the school holidays as well, so it might get a bit busier then once school's out, but we'll see how we go. We're waiting for a few other friends to catch up with. They're supposed to be getting here later today, so that'll be good. Hopefully there's still plenty of campsites around us for them to sort of set up at. But yeah, it's so far so good. The beach had a few blue bottle jellyfish scattered all across the top of the beach, so hopefully they sort of get taken away with the high tide, and then we don't have any more issues with them. And the March flies are a bit of a pain in the ass, but you sort of got to expect it. So all in all, but it looks like a ripper spot. First fish of the trip. Good size flatty. Happy with that.
And what'd you catch it on?
I was running a surf pattern off the rig. I actually got it on a popper, but spat it out just before we got it in. It was actually just hooked up on its teeth on the line, so lucky to get it in, but good size one. Second day Stradbroke. We decided to go down to the beach, have a bit of a fish. I didn't wake up too early. Probably headed down at about 7 or 8 o'clock. Went for a bit of a fish. I only got the one, but it was a good sized one. I think Sinead got some video earlier, so good flatty, coming in at around the 58 centimetre mark, so happy with that. That'll be lunch for us now. Fill it up and we'll have some fish, maybe some fish wraps. But no, it's been good. A little bit windy. March flies are out and about again, but speaking of bloody March flies, they've been driving the dog crazy. But no, apart from that, it's been good. Well, we caught the flatty out there, what, an hour ago? Now, we're eating some chippies, some fish, not bad.
A lot of good stuff.
Yeah. Righto, so it's what's the date today? Oh, it's Saturday. Saturday, we're supposed to be heading home on Tuesday. Last night the weather turned to shit. The day before yesterday was pretty average as well, so we've had no sun. So solar's starting to run a little bit low. And then the forecast for tomorrow especially, and then the next 3 days afterwards, the wind's supposed to pick up to about 60 kilometres an hour, and the swell's supposed to get over 6 metres. So we rang up Sea-Link and asked if we could push forward our barge home. The soonest we could get in was Sunday morning at 7 AM, so that's tomorrow morning. So we've packed everything up tonight. We're just sleeping in the back end of the camper, so that way we don't have any canvas folded out. We can fold down the roof. so that way there's no canvas. We'll just fold that roof down, sleep in the back there. That way we don't have to worry about this feral weather. And yeah, we'll haven't really booked anywhere to stay in back home, so we're going to head back to Caloundra to hang out with Trav and Taryn and the girls again. Luckily they're putting us up for free, so yeah, we'll head back there for a few days before we're back in Brisbane again to get the underbody of the car sprayed and cleaned up. So that's it. Stradbroke Island sort of didn't. It started out perfect. The weather was awesome the first weekend we got here, but after that the wind sort of picked up, and it was just, it didn't didn't give us much to go on, did it?
And it's only dog friendly.
No, you're allowed dogs.
The dog, they say.
You're allowed dogs over here, but once you're over here with your dog, you can basically only take them to the beach. There's no real. We didn't come across any real dog friendly cafes, or there's only one pub, and that pub's not dog friendly, so you can't go anywhere really and have a beer with your animal. So you're sort of stuck, restricted to the camp zones. Both Blue Lake and Brown Lake are all not dog friendly. A few of the sort of, all the inland stuff's not dog friendly. Amity Point's not dog friendly. So yeah, we sort of, I'm sure Stradbroke would be great in the right weather, but for us, not so much. Yeah, but you know, can't do much about the weather. So we got up at about 3 AM, double checked the tides. Our ferry leaves at 7 from Dunwich. We were planning on leaving a little bit later, but high tide's about bang on 8 AM. So we still thought we had plenty of time to sort of get off, but with the really shitty weather and the wind and the swell and that, the tide had pushed nearly all the way up to the dunes. So we had a pretty nervous drive to get back off. Luckily we got out without any dramas, but we were hitting the salt water a little bit, so that was a bit sketchy. And now we're just when the tide pressures back up again, we'll shoot into town, we'll pull up and go back to sleep for another hour or two, and then jump on the barge this morning. So at least the wind's not too bad inland. Hopefully it hasn't affected the barge trip home. Sinead got seasick on the way over when it was flood as a tap, so I'm sure if there's a bit of a swell, she'll be seasick as on the way back. But yeah, now just got to try and dodge this bloody rain. Righto, so we're at the ferry. It's 6:30 AM. The wind's finally started to pick up, so it's turning a bit feral. Hopefully it's not too bad on a trip back across. We just went to the bakery and got a feed. It was actually really good, really good bakery by the looks of it. It was dead empty first thing this morning as well, so that's all good. Hopefully the barge gets here on time, then we get back across the other end and finally get out of this feral weather. So
hopefully I don't get sick.
Yeah, we'll see whether Sinead gets so sick or not. Right, so here we go. Luckily, it's actually not as bad out here as we thought it could have been. With the weather the way it is, the swell's supposed to double in size this afternoon, so that's why we've got the early morning barge. I reckon later today it's going to get really nasty. They've cancelled some of their later barges just in case, because tonight's supposed to sort of peak. But for now, at least we're getting home. So